in and survive. Tune in and survive. It's survive. Was over with, baby. It's survive. Was over with, baby. Oh yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. I can't hear. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, y'all? I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of It's a Vibe podcast with your girl, Zoe, baby. Now, if y'all don't know, I am on my third episode of season 1. Drop a Q's bomb, pun. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm going to do this one more time, y'all. Y'all got to get excited with me. I am on my third episode of season 1. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. So if y'all missed last week, we had Span the Man in the lab. He came out and vibed with us. A live interview. If you guys missed the live interview, you can go on my YouTube now and pull that up. It's a Vibe podcast with Zoe. I also have shorts on my Instagram page, Zoe Baby. Now, today's episode is going to be a tad bit different. I know normally we be hype, and we still going to get hype, but this episode is going to be a little bit more controversial, and I hope that it make everybody in here think just a little bit. So, before I get started on everything, the only thing that I ask, I am going to bring my panel up one by one. When I ask questions, just let the panel speak first. If y'all have questions, comments, just wave your hand, woo, bitch, and I got you, okay? So, without any further ado, my first guest is going to be Miss Kiki Kamayu.
Hey!
Yeah.
Yay! What's up?
What's going on, boo? How you doing?
Thanks. Chilling, you know.
I know. Thank you for vibing with me, boo-boo. So, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about you, what you do, your brand, all that good stuff.
Okay, so my name is Miss Kiki Kamayu. Kamayu actually is Swahili for silent warrior, just so y'all know. I am a poet, I call myself a comedian, but you don't have to. And I'm an entrepreneur. So what I do is I started my own company in public relations where I help artists and entrepreneurs with branding, marketing, graphic design. So kind of like how I market myself in all orange, I can help you, market yourself in anything that, represents your brand and, really bring you out and have you stand out amongst the crowd, So that's what I do.
Okay. So how long have you been doing poetry? I know I've just tuned in to your First Amendment podcast on Spotify. I absolutely love it. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been, I'm a podcast host. I've been doing podcasting it'll be 4 years in June.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So what inspired you to get started on your podcast?
Okay, so real talk, and I'll just be honest, my brother said he was going to kill me, so I figured I should tell my story.
Gotcha.
I wanted my story to get out. So basically, I have like a very unique story. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I served for 4.5 years. And, I'm just all about breaking black generational curses. I came from a family that didn't really support you, crabs in the bucket type shit, so it was always very weird. And I'm here to put the truth out as well as tell my story and hopefully inspire other people that went through what I went through.
Okay. So as you know, this podcast is going to be about the African American dream, not the American dream. I know a lot of times we hear, we want the American dream, the American dream, the American dream. But when I say the African American dream, what does that mean to you?
Freedom. And not just I'm free, I'm not a slave, I don't have to work. Free from everything. I want to, listen, what I talk about on my podcast is having that, Caucasian entitlement. You feel me? Being able to walk down the street and not have to worry if a cop gonna pull me over or if if I'm gonna get attacked or whatever. I want that real freedom where they can walk around and act like a little bitch. I want to walk around and act like a little bitch too. I want to complain. I want to be a Karen. You know, I want to be free. I just want to be just as free as them. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Can
I got
say
you.
that?
Yeah, you definitely, girl.
Okay.
Listen. Ain't no filter here, baby. It's.
I
keeping it
love
real.
them. I love Caucasian people, but I want to wake up and not worry. You know, I be stressed the fuck out.
I
as a
feel
black
you.
person.
I feel you. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my whole panel up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and start asking these questions. So the next person that I'm gonna be bringing up tonight is gonna be Mr. CTL Smooth.
Hey, do I leave?
CTL Smooth in the motherfucking building. What's going on? So we finally got your ass on the podcast. Took 52 years, but you finally made it. 52 and he only 35. Ain't that some shit? All right. So it's going to be the same for you. Just go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about you, your brand, what you do.
For sure. I go by the name of CTL Smooth. So the CTL stand for Create the Light. That's also my brand. Create the Light is also what I got on right now. So CTL, just a little bit about the CTL brand is it's all about unity, diversity, and equality. So that's what my brand is about. Create the Light, being able to spread positivity in the universe wherever you go, you know, to different people and inspire people, you know, and stuff like that. So with that being said, my name is CTL Smooth, so you can find me everywhere, all platforms at CTL Smooth. My music, you know, is more inspirational, motivational. So you're going to hear more of that dropping very soon. I just dropped a single, Mr. MVP, on all platforms.
Nice.
Last Friday, so you can tap into that, and definitely that's on all platforms, Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff.
So how long have you been tapping into your artistry?
So just a little backstory. I've been writing really for maybe 8 years. Like when I was in college, that's when I realized I had a gift to write. So I started writing poetry first, and then I really started getting more into the lyricism and, you know, I mean, putting different instrumentals behind it. But that's when I really started writing. So I was writing way before I started recording. I really just started recording 3 years ago. So I'm still new to the recording process and learning as far as recording. But I started tapping into the artistry, like I said, 8 years ago.
Okay, nice. So what inspired you to go from poetry to music?
So as far as the poetry, because it's a different aspect, I like to perform. With poetry, you can still perform, but I feel like with music, you can express more of, I guess, your personality. I guess with poetry you can too. I guess it's more of what you prefer, but I like the beat. You know, I like to move the crowd with music. So I felt like music was more like my lane to go that route.
Kiki, you gonna be dropping the album soon?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we're gonna look out.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking out for that.
Yeah, the best pork chop ever. Yeah.
That's it.
That's what's
So
up.
as you know, I asked Kiki Kamayu, when she thinks of the African American dream, the first thing she thinks about is freedom, being free from all, you know, adversity. So what is your definition of the African American dream?
My definition would be along those lines: financial freedom, you know, breaking generational curses, you know. I feel as far as no matter who you are, whether you know it or not, you a role model. Somebody's looking at you. So it's like me, I keep that in the back of my mind at all times. So, you know, I move a certain way, I talk a certain way, not because I'm trying to feel like I'm better than somebody or, you know, trying to, you know, act like I'm better than anybody in the world, but it's just like you got to be a standard and set the example, and hopefully the next generation will follow that. But I feel like financial freedom is definitely, you know, an American dream. You know, at least for my culture, I know I come from a place where we didn't have a lot. So, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, if we able to get financial freedom and also be able to show other people how to get there, I feel like that's the real American dream, when you can touch other people along that process.
Okay, so now we have one more guest that I want to introduce. Before I do that, we're going to take a small little break, intermission. I want DJ Juice to go ahead and drop those tunes, and we'll be right back in about 2-3 minutes.
Hey.
We got all these damn spotlights and shit.
You hot, Smooth?
That shit is
You get hot. Okay. Now, the next person that I am going to be bringing up, I love this girl to death, and once y'all meet her, y'all gonna love her just as much. I'm telling you, this girl is totally a vibe, and it's only right that we have her at the Vibe Podcast. So my next guest that's gonna be on the panel tonight is gonna be Miss Keemba on the drums. Keemba!
What up?
Welcome to the Vibe Corner, baby.
I think I just had buddy in my
You did, but it's all right. You ain't knocked me out, though. So, Keemba, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, your brand, and what it is that you do.
Alright, yo, what's up? I'm Keemba on the drums. You can follow me at KEEMBA on the drums, and does BA, not THE. I am a visual artist and performing artist, entrepreneur, event coordinator. I have a lot of different skills. I also do garment printing, so I'm gonna hook you up with some direct film.
Ooh!
You don't have to have that background.
This is by Yoli the brand, and I absolutely love.
But you can make the most out of it when you really embrace who you are, living in your truth, and then really find something that you're good and you're passionate about. And that could become an outlet to more doors opening from you so that we can escape that slave mentality.
Okay, so Smoove, how about you? Do you feel like oppression is something that that impacts our culture today?
I definitely feel like that. You know what I mean? I see it. That's why I carry myself the way I do, because I see it now, and I seen it when I was younger, but I didn't know exactly what I was going through or what the community was going through. So that's like my inspiration to go back and give back to that 12-year-old kid that I seen that's looking for a role model. You know what I mean? But and if you coming up in the community, some of these kids don't have resources and the role models to look up to. They only know what they see, so you can't really blame them for how they act or the things they do, because it's only what they see, so that's what they repeat. And so I definitely think oppression is, definitely big in the culture, and I feel like it takes pioneers and people to set the standards. Like, you know what I mean? Years later, we might not be here no more, but if we set the standard for the next generation,
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you break
Leaving
it.
your
You know what I mean?
legacy.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, I definitely understand that. So, in talking about oppression, do anybody have any comments on what I've said so far? Go ahead, Sosa.
I just would say two things that it wasn't mentioned. I don't know if y'all was going to mention when talking about Black American dream and oppression. I think two things we should push as a culture is education and ownership. Like, you can say, I want to make a change, I want people to listen, I want to be the person they look up to. But if me and you on the same level, you can't teach me too much. And then as far as like, I want to be able to wake up and not worry. I don't want, this white person feel like, it's like my mom used to say, if you're in my house, I control what's going on, so I can do whatever I want because I own this. So when we start owning stuff, they have no right. They can't do anything but treat us as equals because I don't need you.
And that would take me back to what is it, the Black Wall Street, because that's like a prime example of Black greatness. How these people migrated to their own little area, built up everything, and although they destroyed it, they was able to keep rebuilding. I think that our ancestors had like a certain level of strength that I don't think we have today. And I feel like although oppression is an issue, I do feel like sometimes it's kind of used as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think about oppression, I honestly think about the ancestors that came before us, because they had no will with all, you know what I mean? They couldn't do it. Like if they wanted to marry, they was told who they was gonna marry, they was told who they was gonna breed with, which slave they thought was gonna breed with this slave to make the best goddamn slave to come out and work on this cotton field. They didn't have no rights. So right now, you know, with our ancestors and how they fought for us and how they move for us to be in the position that we are, I feel as if we have not as much freedom as we should, because I don't think that freedom is equal across the board, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like we have enough freedom, because when they didn't have it, they still made a way.
Can I,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a big believer, like, look, one of my mottos is collaboration over competition. And the reason for that is, like, we can do so much better, we can do so much more when we come together and we do it together, versus trying to compete with one another. And I feel like that's the problem with our society a lot of the times. It's like what Kiki was saying also, about that crab in a bucket type mentality. It's like everybody feel like, okay, if I don't get this, I'm gonna miss this opportunity. But if we all on the same page and we're all working together to achieve a goal that's bigger than ourselves, we can all move on, and then we'll be a lot stronger too. We can be a lot stronger when we come together. You know, but yeah, like collaboration over competition has like been my motto for a while. Especially like for my business, Creative Lounge. Just like I love being able to connect and collaborate with people, because it's like it's so much you can learn from everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I'm not gonna compete. I'm not competing with you. Like we can do a lot of great stuff together, but I think that's a downfall for our community, especially like in the music. A lot of the artists that come in and out, they tend to like move somewhere else because they don't tend to feel like they got the support in their own house, because everybody's just like, no, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you.
That's actually true, because I'm not from Tampa. I've only been here for like 4 years, 5 years. But the support that I get here, it feel like I've been here like all my life. I'm originally from Indiana, you know what I mean? So, you know, when I go home, I get love, but I feel a lot of hate there too, you know what I mean? So it's like you said, sometimes you gotta leave where you comfortable to see who you truly are, you know, how you adapt in different situations. You know, and another thing, just to kind of go off of what you were saying, I feel like our community is like afraid to share resources. They feel like if I share this resource, man, he might elevate higher than me. But it's like at the end of the day, we putting a spotlight on each other. It's just you gotta be ready when it's your time to shine. You just gotta be ready. That's what that preparation is for. So at the end of the day, I think that's another reason that holds us back is not sharing resources, you know, not being afraid to, hey, I think you fit with this, like you're saying, collaboration. Hey, man, I think y'all fit together. Y'all should talk to see if y'all could, you know, come up with something. I feel like that's another thing.
That's another issue with it. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you definitely did. You definitely did. Now, does anybody in the audience have anything that they want to add to that before I move on? Okay, I have a.
I gotta say something about segregation. I feel like that it should have been done, because black people learn black things and black knowledge and black wisdom, things like that. So it's not the same. Our knowledge and the things that we're being taught, it's not the same. It doesn't come,
No,
it doesn't
the
reflect.
reason why it's not the same is because it was designed that way to separate us from that. We had to like relearn how to do stuff. But if we all came together and figure out how to live this world together, because like Creator gave us this world. You know what I'm saying? Like everything out here, it already belonged to us, but there's certain people in society that made it where it's like, okay, we're going to switch it up right quick. All right, you got to pay to live here. You got to pay. We're the only creatures on this earth that pay to live here.
I agree. I agree with both of y'all point. It's just what I'm saying is, when I think about my daughters, if they grow up in a school where it's just young black girls just like them, just imagine to be able to go to a store and my baby girl don't have to get a white Barbie doll. I know they got different types of Barbie dolls out there, but just understand what I'm saying. Being taught by a black teacher, you have a black coach, you have people in higher levels, and you see that as a child growing up.
Yeah.
It's important. Just think about it. The whole thing about, religion, it's the same thing.
And then when
It's just for our people.
when you think about it, everywhere else they do that already. That's
do that.
that's
That's
normal.
facts.
That's
That's
normal. It's America and the UK is probably like the only places where it's a mixed culture, but everywhere else. Let me give you a little background story about me. My mom, when my mom came to America, she had me at a really early age. But when she came to America, she saw white people for the very first time in her life. She was culture shocked. It was a shock. She was like, she had to touch the person's face because she was just like, it wasn't like, that wasn't her reality.
Before you go, where's you from?
Nevis. St. Kitts Nevis is where my family's from.
Where is St. Kitts Nevis?
It's in the Caribbean.
Okay,
Yeah, in the West Indies.
got you. I got you.
But yeah, like during the time that when my mom came to America, she saw white people for the very first time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like here in America, we have a certain perspective of how life is, but all over the world, that our life is pretty darn good compared to a lot of places, other places. But they learn to like work with the type of environments that people live in nowadays. African American, they'll complain about it all day long. Like, it's hot, where the AC at? I need, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you go somewhere outside of America, you know what I'm saying? You got people living in huts and stuff. They don't got no AC. They don't got like the protection they need to like not be getting bit by mosquitoes. They don't got, you know what I'm saying? Like they embrace that soil that they live on. You know what I'm saying? So I would say like it already happened. That already happened. What you want for your child is happening right now in another country.
Can I speak on the segregation? Because I think it goes to like his point and your point. So I see his point, you know. Well, first let me say this. During segregation was if you just go look at the numbers, was the best time for black people financially, as a culture, education-wise. We were the #1 hospitals, the #1 schools. They couldn't control what we was doing. And I love that for segregation because like you said, in other cultures, the black people, you know, they're living good. Even they have less, but they learned to love, and we couldn't have a chance to do that because our chance for that was segregation. It was our chance to teach each other, you don't need this. Now, what happens during segregation, if you notice, black culture is the only culture that another race can come in and sit and be like, hey, I'm the top #1 in whatever this is. I make more money than you in your neighborhood. We can't do that in their neighborhoods because they own everything here. Now, during segregation, they didn't own us, so now they can't come here and be like, well, my business is just as successful. No, it's not. You don't even know how to cook what I'm making over here. Once they were able to say, buy our ideas from us, once they were able to say, well, if y'all either gonna sell it to us or we're gonna shut it down, we're gonna burn it down, they were able to control us. I think one thing that happened during segregation was while we should have been like a fire under our ass. This is our chance to build our own country, this is our chance. We got comfortable, we start procrastinating.
Well, I know we did have our own cities and stuff. They kept burning them down.
That's right.
And then if you and then also covered up with the lakes, all in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Central Park in New York.
Yeah,
that was a city.
Well, and that's what I said, they were able to do that because during segregation, when we should have been as black people, like, okay, we at the top of our game, let's not fall from there. We got comfortable, and then we let them take over with fear.
I wouldn't use that word comfortable though. I wouldn't do that.
What you mean comfortable?
I mean comfortable as where we should have been building our own police force, building our own armies to fight back.
They did. They built the Black Wall Street.
That's not a police force.
But I'm saying they built the Black Wall Street.
You can build yourself to be rich. How you
They
know?
had Black Panthers.
They still tell us down.
But the Black Panthers was actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was protecting the neighborhoods, they was feeding the neighborhoods, they was feeding neighborhood children. So we actually did have our own police force, it just wasn't police.
It wasn't strong enough.
Because you understand, police really actually is slave patrol. So we had our own neighborhood watch, we had our neighborhood patrol, we had black men actually protecting the area. But they didn't like that.
It wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, we had black men walking around with guns.
It wasn't strong
But
enough.
it wasn't.
It wasn't. It wasn't strong enough. So You can't say we build this and we build this and that. They had a black Wall Street. They had their own bank, everything they had. And they tore it
That's what I
down.
said. I said like during segregation was the top of peak for black culture. We had the best banks, the best education, the best health systems. But it's us as a culture, if we can make whatever excuse we want for what happened. But
So I'm saying this like this.
fight back.
I'm saying this like this. What white man invented something though? Can you tell me what white man invented
And this is
something?
what I'm saying. I don't have to invent it.
stole all
But this is what
all
I'm
that
saying.
shit.
Exactly.
I don't have to invent it. If I don't have to invent it if I could walk in your community and own it. Why do I gotta invent it?
In the education that they actually
But
borrowed from us or took.
It don't matter what
But
resources I have. You
they
selling me
used
your
the-
idea.
They used the information. They used their
They wasn't
education
selling-
of
they
learning
wasn't selling
about
their
us.
own
They
idea
used
that
that
they had.
against us, and they did it very well. And that's why they're better off now than they were before, because we taught them a lot, and they had to take note, and then they had to like reteach us in a way of not teaching us by telling us the opposite of what we
But
are
but it's like I said
to
earlier,
brainwash us.
education and ownership. If I create this and somebody teaches me that I can own this and market it,
if you
I don't
are-
have a reason to sell it to somebody else.
But look, if you doing this and you don't have the education now, hey, maybe you shouldn't like let this person have
Right,
access
that's what
to
I'm
your
saying.
stuff without going through these paperwork. Like some people just was just trying to make it. They needed something to
Right,
make
and I'm
sure that
agreeing
their
with you.
family is
We need more
good.
education.
You know what I'm
agreeing
saying?
with you.
Like they stole a lot of education from us in a sense, but at the same time. We're in a stage right now that it's like we really don't have no excuse to not learn how to be better. But they didn't have choice. They didn't really have a choice before, and they had to work what they could so they don't die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was pretty much the conclusion. You either gonna conform to what I'm saying, or this is what's gonna happen.
I think a little different because the way I feel, just me as a parent.
Yeah.
If I own something and I know, like, say I got land. This land, I have kids now. This land, my kids are gonna benefit off this land. They're gonna own this land. This is gonna be what I leave for their generation. I'm willing to die about that land. You can't come take this from me unless you kill me. And I don't think enough people think like that.
And you'll be in the history books, but you won't. I mean, your family, your peoples will be able to share that story, but they gonna take you out.
Okay, well, how many?
Okay, so hold on.
You did-
Wait.
something
So we
because
still
now
got
the
to keep
next
going.
generation- The next generation is gonna tell your story, and they're gonna fight for you.
Okay, so now Morgan Freeman said that the only way to end racism is to stop talking about it. Do y'all agree with that
I
statement?
agree.
No.
I agree, but I know that it's pretty much impossible because basically, if you don't say anything,
Hold on, one
about
at a time, one at a time.
You basically saying that it didn't happen. So that's why it's like that's the issue. It's like no, like this really did happen. But like if I stop talking about it, maybe everybody cooperate. We can all get
Okay,
along.
so Kiki, we ain't heard nothing from you. So what's your input on that?
Okay, I feel very entitled to say this. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I was married to a Caucasian man. I think the way to stop racism is to make Caucasian people very uncomfortable, so that way they'll want to do something about what they doing. So you got to make them uncomfortable. So that means be your fucking self, like loud and proud. Stop code switching. Stop trying to wear no lie relaxers and shit like that. Stop trying to make them comfortable. And then they'll be uncomfortable, and then they'll stop doing the little fuck shit they do.
Girl, I tried to go without a relaxer one time. It ain't work out too good for me, so I went back and got that cream and crack, baby. I'm just playing.
But make them uncomfortable. Like don't be afraid to be you. You know what I'm saying? But also don't be afraid to call them on their shit too. You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounded by Caucasian people, and a lot of them are very comfortable saying the N-word. And I told the other dude the other day, I said, "You say it one more time, I'm pop in your mouth." And he was like, "Oh, my bad. I thought we were cool." Yeah. But I'm gonna pop you in your mouth because we not cool. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make them uncomfortable. They're so comfortable. They're saying our rap music. You know what I'm saying? They saying shit. They dressing like us, and then we accept it. We like, oh girl, you got it. Oh dude, you got it. We so cool. We so cool with
But
them.
on
We
top
still
of that-
safe in our own mindset.
On top of
Hold
that,
on. What you got to say, Smoove? Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, what was the question?
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
I said, Morgan Freeman said that the only way to stop racism, to end racism, is to just stop talking about it.
I don't think that.
That's not
I don't think
realistic.
that. I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know what I mean? I think
Morgan,
that's going.
you
That's
can say that
going.
because he's a celebrity.
I think that's just gonna be. That's gonna live until we. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we just gotta. Again, like I was saying, learn how to coexist. You know what I mean? Like, life is about coexisting, being able to shine your light, but also be able to share your light.
Mhm.
Adapt to
And
the
not
environment.
dim other people's light in the process.
Exactly.
Like,
So that's
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Whether we talk about it or not, I feel like people's gonna show it through their actions. So,
Okay, so I know we getting into this conversation and it's getting good. So this is how we're gonna leave off because we have a beautiful, wonderful performance that I've been waiting for. I've been waiting, and I'm so excited. So the last thing, so I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends, and we were talking about racism and police brutality and things of that nature. And it was a white guy that I was talking to, and the one thing that he kept mentioning was, well, I know that it's white officers that kill black officers, black officers that kill black officers, and black people kill black people more than any other race. What do y'all like? What would be your response to that? Because you don't even want to hear what I just. Let me hear what y'all got to say. What was your response to that? What would be your response to that?
She don't want to say.
What you wanna say?
It wasn't nice, girl, and I don't think it's gonna be good for this podcast. I got to keep it.
I thought we was keeping it real.
Y'all want me to keep it real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him he is full of shit because the one difference is with our people, regardless of whether it's a white person killing a black person, whether it's another black person killing a black person, we didn't take that honor to protect and serve. You know what I'm saying? Once you get behind that badge, that is an honor. That's a vow that you chose to take. So if you're killing our goddamn people, of course we gonna be pissed off because, bitch, we paying you our tax dollars.
Yeah.
You ain't pay if I shoot you, hell, I ain't getting none of your tax money.
Yeah.
But all these police officers getting our tax dollars and they gunning us down and they shooting. It's like a modern day lynching.
Truth now.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes.
I just want to. So, like I said, I served in the Navy
Right.
for 4.5 years. I actually in 2019 I was beat by police. Three police officers beat the shit out of me in 2019, and I was a cop in the Navy. So I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't use any of the trainings that I was taught. They immediately tried to tase me. A lady pulled out a taser. I mean, I could have been shot, but she pulled a taser. But they didn't use any of the trainings that I was taught as a military officer. They was, you know what I'm saying, for them to be a police officer. So yeah, it was like they was trying to hurt me. They were trying to kill me.
That's definitely because I watched this one show where I watched this one clip. It was on YouTube where it was this black man. He was in the army, fully in his army uniform. You know what I'm saying? Cop pulled him over, telling him he smelled weed in the car, telling this man to get out. Do you have any weapons, sir? Now, if that was somebody else, somebody that didn't look like us, I can guarantee you it wouldn't have went down the same way.
No.
And that's exactly why I wanted to have this conversation. And of course, you guys know that we're going to keep continuing on this conversation because we are definitely in tune to it. Unfortunately, Zoe was late as hell this day. But make sure y'all keep tuning in. Our next podcast is coming up next month. I will definitely have y'all tentative date. I want to thank everybody for coming. Oh, who gave me the fireworks? Shout out to y'all, boo. I love y'all. But y'all stay tuned because we have some performances coming up. I'm going to leave it up to DJ Juice to drop that motherfucking beat. And you know how we do. We're going to get this shit set up. So stay tuned. You don't want to. All right. Drop another Q's bomb for me, Pun. That's my boy. That'll scare the hell out of you, won't it? All right, y'all. So before we get my outro song, I am going to introduce my favorite, Miss Kiki Kamayu. You ready, girl?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta correct my name one more time, real quick. Kiki Kamayu. There you go.
I'm sorry.
It was given to me at birth, Kamal. So Kamal is Swahili for silent warrior. So if you're a silent warrior, you know what I'm saying, you're ready to speak your truth in 2024, you can feel me. So I wrote this poem called Ravens in a Cage. It's a mix of Maya Angelou's Why the Caged Bird Sang and the Raven from I forgot the poet name, but anyway, Edgar Allan Poe. That's what his name was from the Raven. Yeah. So I just did my own little mix to kind of educate my people as well. Could it be the prison mindset or the lack of intellect? Lord, please forgive them because I think they did forget. If you are melanated, then you are heaven sent. See, I can explain in many ways what that cage bird meant. Instead of tears dropping down at our feet, Negro spirituals in the field is what we used to sing. So many ravens in a cage waiting for freedom bells to ring. Well, I say you don't need sleep to dream. What if I told you some birds fly with only one wing? You see, it's funny how they achieved the American prison scheme. Amendment 13 was supposed to grant freedom, so it seemed, unless you was born with melanin in your genes. And still, Lord, we yelling, we gonna make it. In 1915, here comes Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation was a demise to our creation. In 1924, the Klan was adamant about our annihilation. We started a movement of mass incarceration, and Europeans laughing, telling us life is what you make it. Well, Tupac said we're gonna stop asking and start taking. Yeah. He said that years later after Ronald Reagan. But did I forget to mention Nixon doubled down on our apprehension. He said the war on drugs was his only real mission. He persuaded the working whites and the poor to start mixing. The only jobs left for us was the ones in the kitchen, and little black children like Emmett Till was still going missing. What if I told you that ravens was transcendent? Made in God's image, above and beyond the belief of existence, like those flies that think they're trapped in a topless jar, for instance. You don't have to stay caged, ravens just stay persistent, like Reagan in the 1982 crack epidemic. Not crack and cocaine is two different gimmicks. Though the white man snorted and the black man in prison, now how the fuck you gonna tell me that ain't a game of scrimmage? Oh, I get it. Bad boys was getting our attention. In 1994, that was a big mistake, Clinton. 3 strikes, you're out. That's a real classic sentence. You ever wondered how the police became a militant division? Dr. Martin Luther King screaming, "This is not my vision." Thanks to Alec, we're in the streets protesting commission. Black lives will be risen. So please do listen to all that I have mentioned. And fly away, ravens. Your minds shall no longer be in prison. Thank you.
Hey, you right. That shit
You never know what's going to be coming through on the Zoe Baby podcast. I'm telling you, we get raw talent. Anyway, I don't give a damn if you're the next Picasso. Bring your ass on. Okay, y'all. So before we go, to take us out, Miss Keemba.
Yay!
Alright, Keemba on the drums, Keemba on the drums. The is DA, not THE. And also, I want to invite all of you to my third Wednesday open mic. I have a third Wednesday open mic tomorrow. Miss Kiki Kamayu is going to be doing interviews. It's going to be a vibe. You can sign up at the door. It's going to be at Steam Pots from 7 to 11. It's right on Waters Avenue. It's 1109 West Waters Avenue. All right, so look, we're going to vibe out. Can y'all pull up on me a little bit? Come on.
fuck I'm talking about, y'all. There go my motherfucking brother. All right, y'all. So if y'all fucking with Zoe, baby, let me hear y'all say that shit. Say Zoe. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I fuck with y'all. I love y'all. But I tell y'all one motherfucking thing. It's still 2 pizza, 10 wings, and some cupcakes. Goddamn it, y'all.